Hey Mumkey, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm just dubbing my voice in post-production so you can actually understand what I'm saying under this thick rubber mask.
That's a great idea. If only you could do that during your Mumkey's mailbag videos. Those are literally unwatchable.
Yeah, but to be fair, most of the videos on this channel are unwatchable anyway.
Speaking of horrendous atrocities, it's time for your first punishment.
Punishment? What are you talking about?
During your Captain Alex review, I kept a tally of every horrible racist joke you made, and I'm going to punish you for each one.
Wait, was that serious? I thought you were just trying to be funny.
I'm a woman. I don't know how to be funny. Since you seem to be so obsessed with amateur films lately, for your first punishment I'm going to make you review the horrible, edgy short film you made in high school that almost got you expelled.
Ah, fuck! Well, if I've got to watch it again, there's only one way I can get through it.
Earthquake victims? That's what they get for living in Haiti anyway. If they didn't want to get hit by earthquakes, they'd live in America.
This channel has been focusing a lot on amateur films so far this year. In February, we reviewed the Ugandan masterpiece Who Killed Captain Alex. In March, we conducted our first annual Mumkey short film contest. And now in April, we've saved the worst for last. It is with great displeasure that today I share with all of you a terrible, horrible, cringy, edgelord-tastic 23-minute short film I made in high school that almost got me expelled. A horrendous blight on the face of humanity created by the edgiest 17-year-old in the world. A film titled Vincent and Dwayne Seek Vengeance. It was essentially my own version of the Columbine Massacre put to film. The story of an edgelord school shooter wannabe who corrupts the mind of a lonely boy so that the two of them can enact righteous judgment against the society that had rejected them. And if you're thinking, oh Mumkey, this sounds a lot like Elliot Rodger. Well, nice fucking try, but Elliot Rodger's massacre was in 2014, and I made this shit in 2013. And the cringiest part of all, I made this short film to show at my high school's film club that I started. Yeah, I made a film about school shooters and then premiered it at my high school with teachers in the room. Not only was I an edgelord, but I think I might have been fucking retarded. So, before we dive into the meat of this film, I think I'm gonna need to get a few drinks in me. Let's go ahead and make it a drinking game. If you're feeling suicidal, take a shot every time something cringy happens. By the end of Act 2, you'll be dead from fucking alcohol poisoning. The film is composed of 3 acts, with each one cringier than the last. The first act, and arguably the best of the trilogy, was called Dwayne Needs a Prom Date. The film begins with the titular Dwayne walking into a professional dating service so that they can help him find a date for prom. You might recognize the actor for Dwayne as the guy from the other cringy videos I made in high school, The God and Jesus Show.
God! Jesus! You finally came to answer my prayers!
In The God and Jesus Show, he played an ugly outcast who couldn't find a girlfriend, and now in this short film, he plays an ugly outcast who can't find a girlfriend. Is it possible to bully somebody through typecasting? Because if so, I think I was a huge fucking bully. Speaking of bullying, Dwayne informs Mr. Birchmeyer, who is being played by a very handsome 17-year-old who probably has a massive cock, that he needs them to find him a date for prom by Saturday, to which Birchmeyer laughs and then mocks Dwayne's appearance.
I need a date for prom on Saturday, and all the girls I asked said no. I'm not surprised. Will you help me find a date for prom? Kid, this is a dating service. We're not miracle workers.
Oh yeah, and in the top left of the shot, you can see the lighting umbrella we were using to make the windowless room in our high school look less like an unescapable prison. And for some reason, I didn't bother to crop it out. Haha, boy, I sure do hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
The advertisement specifically says, we'll help find anybody a date. Well, yes, as in any person, not an ugly subhuman like you.
Birchmeier tells Dwayne that their company won't be able to find somebody as ugly as him a date in such a short time, so Dwayne threatens that his father will sue the company if they fail.
My father is the best lawyer in the country, and if you don't find me a prom date for Saturday, like your advertisement promises, I'm gonna sue you for all you're worth.
Birchmeier informs Dwayne that even under threat of legal action, the possibility of finding him a prom date is slim to none, to which Dwayne becomes very sad. In the background music for this part is the top video you find on YouTube when you Google sad violin music, and no, I wasn't using it ironically like everybody else does these days. I actually made the conscious choice to include it in the film as a genuine piece of background music.
Oh, come on, kid, be fair. We'd be lucky to find a girl to date you in the next 4 months, let alone 4 days.
Can you at least try? Please! I'm sorry I was threatening. It's just, I've been so alone lately. I haven't even had my first kiss. I was hoping I could have some fun and have a date for my senior prom. Is that too much to ask? Can you please help me? Please?
Given this emotional appeal, Birchmeier agrees that they'll at least try to find him a date, and Dwayne hands over the matchmaker survey that he filled out. Birchmeier then reads Dwayne's full name, and the scene transitions to a boardroom at the dating company.
Alright, Dwayne Rogers. I will try my damnedest to find you a prom date. Gentlemen, thank you for coming here on such short notice. Now, I know we usually keep these client meetings small, but for this one I figured we need all the manpower we could get.
What's the big deal, Roger?
Did you catch it? Did you fucking catch that shit? Here, I'll play it again.
Dwayne Rogers.
What's the big deal, Roger?
Yeah, that's right. Both characters are named fucking Roger. Dwayne Rogers and Roger Birchmeier. And both of these names are revealed within 10 seconds of each other. There are over 10,000 common names in the English language, and for some reason I gave 2 of the characters the same name completely by accident. In this film, about a kid who goes on a shooting and kills the girls that rejected him, that I made in 2013, a full year before the Elliot Rodgers shooting. What in the fuck? I'm the guy who did this, and even I think it's a valid conspiracy theory. Also, what kind of retarded writer gives 2 characters the same name? Boy, I sure do hope somebody got fired for that blunder. Anyway, Birchmeier is having trouble expressing to his colleagues why their new client will be especially difficult, so he decides to project an image of the boy to let the picture do the talking for him. This leads to a slightly humorous scene of everybody reacting to the photo, which ultimately is probably just another example of me using this film to bully one of my friends. Although, to be fair, he's the one who selected the picture that we used, so I guess you could say he was complicit in his own bullying? I don't know. Just watch the fucking clip.
Our new client is, I'll just let his picture do the talking.
And in case you were wondering, yes, that's my old buddy Biggs. He's appeared on this channel a number of times, the first being when I tried to make him drink bleach in my Two Broke Girls anime review.
Biggs, I made a smoothie for you, Biggs. You want a smoothie, buddy? It's really good.
What is it?
It's a smoothie. Try it.
I'm really scared.
Nah, it's good for you, dude. What's it taste like? What's it taste like, Biggs? Biggs, what's it taste like?
I don't want it.
What is it? What's it taste like,
I don't
Biggs?
know.
Biggs, what's the smoothie taste like?
As you can plainly see, I treat my friends very well, especially when I'm pointing a camera at them. The men in the boardroom assume that Birchmeier is pulling a practical joke on them, but he assures them that this isn't the case and then pulls out Dwayne's matchmaker survey to read some of the facts Dwayne wrote about himself that were going to make it even harder to find him a date. I guess this is sort of where the satire-ish elements of the film start to appear, where it's obvious that an edgy, lonely 17-year-old wrote the script to make fun of the types of things that he assumed girls look for in a guy. Like, for example, the survey says Dwayne doesn't play football, therefore everybody reacts as though it will now be impossible to find a girl to date him. I don't fucking know. It's just fucking sad. And maybe kind of funny.
Now then, it gets worse. I would like to read to you all a few choice things from his matchmaker survey. First of all, he doesn't play football.
What?
Impossible.
That's crazy.
Secondly, he thinks that it's fair for girls to pay half the bill when going on dates.
What? Ridiculous. Oh my god.
Oh boy. Thirdly, he isn't a douchebag.
At the revelation that Dwayne isn't a douchebag, the men in the boardroom lose their fucking minds. And I do actually still kind of find this part funny.
He isn't a douchebag.
It then transitions to the final scene of Act 1, taking place on the stage at my high school because I didn't know where the fuck else to film it. We see that Birchmeier and one of his associates has brought Dwayne here, and then Birchmeier explains that they've found Dwayne a whole assortment of women, and it's up to him to choose which one he wants to go to prom with. Birchmeier joins his associate in the audience, and they send in the first girl.
What are we gonna do?
Don't worry, I've got this covered. Send her in, Linda!
Hi, my name's Alyssa.
That's right, the girl's name was Alyssa, which is also the same name as the girl Mumkey had a crush on and then murdered in Mumkey's anime reviews. Why do I keep reusing that name? I don't fucking know. I've actually never met a person named Alyssa in my entire life. Birchmeier's associate recognizes that Alyssa is Birchmeier's sister, and this is where we learn about Birchmeier's deceptive plan.
Wait, isn't that your sister?
I told her I'd give her $100 if she pretended to like this kid and went to prom with him.
So now the plan is in place. Alyssa just has to pretend to like Dwayne and everything will work out fine. But of course, that's not what happens, and instead I took this film as the opportunity to satirically point out more reasons why I thought girls didn't like me.
So, what do you do in your spare time?
Not much. Reading and writing, I guess.
Yeah? Any sports or anything?
No, I don't play sports.
Evidently, I was under the impression that girls only like guys who play sports. Or maybe I was just being ironic about it. Again, I honestly can't remember what the fuck I was thinking when I made this shit. After finding out Dwayne's video game preferences include Final Fantasy and Pokemon, she decides the plan isn't worth $100 and she bails.
Well, what else do you like?
Video games, I guess.
Oh, like Call of Duty and Mario?
No, like Final Fantasy and Pokemon.
Okay, that's it, Roger. I'm done. He's just so ugly and weird.
Damn it, Alyssa, get back here! We had a deal!
Luckily, Birchmeier prepared for this for some reason, and he invited both of his Mexican housekeepers as well. This leads to mariachi music as the two girls I knew who could speak Spanish walk in, berate Dwayne in Spanish for being ugly, and walk out.
Send in the next one, Linda!
Who's that?
My housekeeper.
¿Para qué mierda me trajiste acá con este feo? Tengo cosas que hacer, ¿sabes?
And who's that?
My other housekeeper.
How many of those do you have?
Now, if you look closely at this part, when Birchmeyer's associate says, "How many of those do you have?" you can see me mouthing his line. And that's the only take of this shot that we did, so it was in the final film. Boy, I sure do hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
Quiero hablar contigo, eres tan feo, eres más peor que todo el mundo que he visto.
Now, I didn't know this until I uploaded the film to my second channel back in January, but evidently the two Spanish-speaking actresses have tremendously different accents. Several comments pointed out that the first actress had a thick Argentinian accent, which is true because she was the foreign exchange student at my school that year who I somehow convinced to be in my video. But honestly, to me all Spanish sounds the same, so I didn't even realize that my hilarious Mexican housekeeper joke had been completely undercut by one of the actresses obviously not being Mexican. Boy, I sure do hope somebody got fired for that blunder. And now we come to the dramatic end of Act 1 where Dwayne learns that there are no more girls waiting backstage and that he'd been rejected by all of them.
Damn, that was my last one.
What's the plan now?
I don't know, let me think.
Is that it? Are there any other girls?
No, Dwayne, that's it. I'm sorry.
That's it.
Yup, you heard that right. I had 3 lines of dialogue in a row saying, "That's it." As if my dialogue didn't sound clunky and unrealistic enough, I've got that shit in there too. Boy, I sure do hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
That's it. Even a professional company couldn't find me a date. I'm truly gonna be alone forever. Might as well just kill myself.
I feel horrible. Don't you think we should do something?
Like what?
Let's go get him and explain that there are more important things in life than girls, and that a person doesn't need to find a date to find happiness.
That's not our job.
I'll admit, I still find the smash cut to credits after this tragically dark ending to be really funny. You can see the seeds of my dark comedy writing style sprouting here all the way back in 2013. Feeling depressed and rejected, Dwayne declares that he's going to kill himself and walks away. Birchmeyer wonders if they should help him, and his associate nonchalantly says it isn't their job. It's probably the funniest and best part of this entire short film. And this, of course, isn't the end of Dwayne's story. It's only the beginning. After all of that cringe and autism, this was only Act 1 of a 3-act story. And believe it or not, this was the least cringy and least bad of the 3 parts. The next part is titled Richie McDonald Brings an Atheist to Church, with me playing the part of the atheist, and it might be the worst thing I've ever made in my life. Now, I can't handle all this cringe and autism at once, so I'm gonna give us all a little break. We'll continue breaking down this horrible, horrible short film in part 2.
Boy, I really hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
Hey everybody, if you like my videos and want to help support the show, and if you want to see your name here on the list of beautiful, beautiful patrons, go check out my Patreon, link down in the description. Also, did you know you can pay me to put your messages at the end of these videos? Speaking of which, tell people to subscribe to my rap music channel, Shameless12. Here's a link to my music video, Overkill, and I'll have a link to that music video in the description as well. Thanks for watching, folks, and I'll see you for part 2.